in it, okay? And you have to figure out what sides they're telling you go to which triangles, which would mean which angles are congruent. And then they're going to switch roles. And they'll give you the angles. You got to figure out the triangle, then figure out the sides, okay? And again, it is easier for me to do on the smartboard because I could mark up color and I could switch and I can erase and okay. So I acknowledge that, but you know you could grab a whiteboard or whatever you need to help you out, okay? So the first one is telling us that AC is congruent to AD, okay? So I'm going to look at my diagram. I'm going to mark it up. So here's AC and here's AD, okay? That means I really just care about that bigger triangle there. You see it? So I can essentially take away these, and this is going to make it a really easy problem. I know that these two sides are congruent, right? That's easy. What are the two congruent angles? Yeah, right? Angle D is definitely congruent to angle C. Everybody agrees, right? But here's the problem. That's not actually angle C. Why do I say that? That was a mess. That was a mess. Got it. Why do I say that's not actually angle C? C has it's a vertex that belongs to three different angles there, right? So which angle C do I care about?
Can you say BCD?
ACD. ACD will work. Is BCD the same angle? Yeah, but because we were going down there, we'll say ACD. Okay? That's the only thing that's going to get acceptable, okay? What I do have to say, too, though, is at this point, that's going to become really important from now on. I want you guys naming angles by 3 regardless. So you could have gotten away with it with angle D, but for consistency reasons, let's go ahead and call it angle CDA. So let's just start naming all our angles with 3 so that we don't run into an issue when it's not okay. Everybody's good on this one? Okay, let's look at the next one. So then I have BE congruent to BC. And it doesn't build off of the next one, so you have to kind of ignore what happened the first time, okay? Which is why, again, it is easier for me to mark up a smartboard. So I'm going to mark BE congruent to BC. Okay, a little bit easier to see this one, right? Here's the triangle you're dealing with. You have your two congruent sides. What angles are across from them? Well, again, it looks like that angle C up there, right? And then it looks like maybe angle E. But again, you're going to run into an issue with calling that angle C. So how am I going to write my answer here? Sarah?
BCE.
BCE is congruent to? Yeah, but name that by 3.
BEC.
BEC. Okay? E also belongs to 3 different angles. 4 different angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So watch that. And now to kind of shift roles here, okay? So now I'm going to tell you the angles. You got to tell me the sides, okay? So I'm going to start with angle EBA being congruent to angle EAB. I'm going to mark it up to figure out what triangle I'm actually even looking at here. So I got EBA up here, congruent to EAB down here, right? So I know I'm primarily just focusing on this triangle. Those are the 2 congruent angles. Look for the 2 sides congruent, opposite those 2 congruent angles. What are they? What are your congruent sides here? Cece.
Is it EA and EB?
It absolutely is. EB is congruent to EA. Anybody questions? Last one. Okay, so now I got CED. I think this one's pretty easy to see. CED congruent to CDE, okay? So it's this kind of last triangle over there. Okay, what are the two congruent sides? Jamie?
CE and CD.
You got it. Good job, guys. So, initially it probably looked pretty messy, but now it's not terrible. Okay? Any questions? Go back to that other worksheet that you had, those last 4 problems, and go ahead and get to those.